The Zambezi River rises in northern Zambia and eventually empties into the Indian Ocean 2,000 kilometres later, making it Africa's fourth longest river. At this point it forms the borders between Zambia, Botswana and Zimbabwe. Water is available from few sources in savannas, rivers and streams being the most obvious, yet few flow all year. In the dry season most are reduced to muddy pools, while during the rainy season the rivers provide habitat for a host of creatures. Game congregate along the green skirt of vegetation, a vital food supply all year. The difference in water dependency between game species, combined with their different feeding and shelter needs, allow for the diversity of game that characterises this savanna, and has allowed these three neighbouring countries to be blessed with spectacular variety and beauty that could occupy the visitor for a lifetime. Yet the area has not been spoiled by mass tourism. It remains a quiet and spacious haven for those who want to appreciate the best of Africa.
You realise I lost 2 goals last year? It's true, he knows that.
The easiest way to get a feel for the river is by canoe, although you don't actually feel it. Dangling a hand can be an open dinner invitation to lurking crocodiles. A watchful eye also has to be kept for the ever-present hippo lurking in the shallows. They are really more of a hazard than crocodile, very aggressive at mating times or when there are youngsters in the group. Given a short safety talk when boarding the canoe, we were told that in the event of an attack by a hippo, let go of the boat and go for the shore. Not the greatest encouragement for a quiet afternoon. The gin and tonics provided were as much Dutch courage as refreshment. Crossing the border is easy enough, through customs out of Zimbabwe, across the river and through customs into Zambia. Zambia was known before independence as Northern Rhodesia, once a quite wealthy country with huge copper deposits. Local wars and maladministration almost crippled the country and caused a virtual famine. The challenge now is to restore the economy to some semblance of normality. Our guides, Graham Young and his son Lance, care greatly about the welfare of the game and the people of this area. Personal permission of the chief has been given for tourists to visit his village. Money is given from the tour price, which helps provide medical and school facilities, which are always badly needed.
Mongolia. Langgan di Mongolia. Di Mongolia.
Smile, smile, laugh. I'm sick.
It looks a hard life, especially for the women who do the majority of the work within village life. They walk many miles collecting wood and water, tend the fields and the animals, cook, clean and take care of the family. The men do some carving and drink beer. They also get a chance to sell their carvings directly to the tourists, ensuring that all the money made remains within the village.
Yeah.
There's a kitchen.
Yeah.
It's the main house.
Game is plentiful in the area. Impala, zebra, wildebeest and giraffe are common sights. A specially designated park has been established for one of the specially endangered species of the area, the white rhino. We caught up with this female and youngster browsing near the river. Dehorned for their own protection, they still make an incredible sight. Botswana sits to the west of Zimbabwe. The country was a British protectorate from 1855 until independence in 1966. At that time, it was ranked as one of the poorest nations in Africa. But the discovery of diamonds and a secure government has turned this country around. Tourism is becoming an important foreign revenue earner, and some 17% of the country is preserved for national parks and wildlife. The Chobe National Park in the north has a great variety of natural habitats, ranging from grasslands to thickets beside the Chobe River. Although the most developed of Botswana's parks and reserves, the Chobe retains a wilderness atmosphere. There is a wide variety of wildlife. Elephants and buffalo occur in large numbers. Hippo can be seen in all the major waterways, and there are 18 species of antelope and more than 250 species of birds.
There, there's some elephants just walking away there. See them?
Keep still.
It's got nice tusks, that one. so wet, suggesting that they've drunk. But you know what? They might cross the road, so why don't I, if you've taken your picture...
Look at how they're looking at the little one.
Oh, it's in
You want us to go back to the former thing? A peaked or rounded...
doing a display for us.
At the age of about 13, the male elephants leave the herd as adolescents and join. Chobe's got the biggest herds in the world, as I said before. Sometimes you can see over 200 in one herd. These are the most placid elephants in Africa because they're totally protected. In other parts they are hunted either legitimately or illegitimately by poachers. That's how he sort of, and then he eats it into his mouth. There's obviously some mineral in there. I spent hours eating sand, well not hours, but minutes. Basically, the other one's doing the same thing. But that's
What is this bird here? Sorry.
Hammercock.
Hammercock.
Hammercock. Cock is the Dutch often does. It's quite funny. So it bends its neck, raises its wings above its head. Any bird in the world can do that. Very successful, very common antelope. By predators, they can relocate.
The town of Victoria Falls is set in the flat, hot bush of Matabeleland. It is one of the oldest towns in Zimbabwe and has retained an air of a staging post. Relatively undeveloped, its original function was to accommodate the intrepid travellers, traders and hunters of the mid-19th century. The town still exists by catering to travellers and thrill-seekers alike. From here you can arrange game drives, river trips, whitewater rafting, microlight and helicopter flights, even bungee jumping. There are only a few hotels in the town. The Spray View is one of the few privately owned and run hotels in Zimbabwe. Set in its own grounds, the lovely tropical gardens contain a large swimming pool, 2 bars and 2 dining areas, the most popular being the poolside. Single-storey groups of rooms are scattered around the gardens. The newly refurbished Victoria Falls Hotel is the oldest and grandest in the town, acclaimed for its Edwardian elegance and tranquil atmosphere. Set in acres of private gardens with the most enviable position, the choice of activities is as wide as it is exciting. The breathtaking falls and tropical rainforest are only a short walk along the hotel's private access path. The falls are the result of the Zambezi River plunging headlong into a sheer-sided chasm over 100 metres deep and 1,700 metres wide. 5 separate falls make up this spectacle: Devil's Cataract, Main Falls, Horseshoe Falls, Rainbow Falls and Eastern Cataract. The area surrounding the falls is known as rainforest, whose lush vegetation has been created by perpetual spray. Paths through this forest provide excellent views of the falls. The falls were named in 1855 by David Livingstone in honour of his queen, but known to the Africans as the Smoke That Thunders, very apt considering the spray or smoke can be seen over great distances. The water flow can vary from a trickle to 6 feet above the rocks depending on the season. It is very wet and simply wonderful, a showcase for what is still a truly unspoiled wilderness.